Samantha Irby is a New York Times #1 best-selling author of several essay collections. She writes the blog Bitches Gotta Eat, and most recently was a writer on And Just Like That, the HBO reboot of Sex and the City. Sam is also, as mentioned, an ETHS alum, class of '97. And I know there's some people here. Yay. In conversation with another fan favorite, Megan Stielstra. She's the author of 3 collections. Yes, Everyone Remain Calm, Once I Was Cool, and The Wrong Way to Save Your Life, the Nonfiction Book of the Year Award from the Chicago Review of Books. A longtime company member with Second Story, Megan has told stories for National Public Radio, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and regularly with the Paper Machete, I think I have that right, Paper Machete. I thought, is that a typo? It's not, to Paper Machete, live news magazine at the Green Mill. She also teaches creative nonfiction at Northwestern University and is an editor-at-large with Northwestern University Press. And now my deep pleasure to bring on stage Samantha Irby and Megan Stielstra.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, ETHS.
I'm so happy to be home.
Welcome home.
I've missed you guys so much.
When was the last time you were in this building?
In 1997. Yeah, I have not been back.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, we were just in the principal's office.
Where I have never been, because I was so good.
I feel like there are many stories from people in this audience right now that were I to hand them my microphone, we might hear some things that go in the next book, perhaps.
But they know, Anna, that if they tell any of my secrets, I'm gonna kill them.
Okay. Since so much of the book is in lists, give me, say, top 3 things that happened in this building. Knowing that you have some ETHS students in here right now.
The top 3?
Give me 3. I mean, 5 is a more round number, but I mean, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Give me 3.
Okay, once I puked into a tuba in the band room. Once during a choir concert, I accidentally knocked a person off the stage. And, oh my God, okay, my freshman year, this dude bit me in the cafeteria. It was crazy. This dude bit me, and then Nate, the security guard, like, yes, Nate. Nate, like, wrestled him off me, and it was very exciting. It was great.
I think I know that they are recording this event tonight, so that they can just play it back for you, and then you got the next 3 essays for the next book that you have to write.
But you know what? The dude who bit me died. I know y'all are not crying for him. Come on now. When I heard it, I was like, I was like, oh, I mean, karma is real. But it would like be in bad taste if I wrote about the dead dude who bit me in the face.
Oh, that's the title.
The dead dude who bit me in the face? Okay.
Okay. Well, you know, just because of where we are right now, I need to give you this quick part of the book. And I say this now as a new Evanston resident. My son and I moved here a year ago, so hello. I'm so happy to be in this town. Okay.
It's the best place to be.
Well, here it is. It's in print, y'all, so it's in the book. Act 1, exterior Evanston Street, day. We open on a wide shot of a street in Evanston, Illinois, the motherland, the place of my birth, the place where I'd wait in line for a euro from Crossroads right now if it weren't cold-ass winter.
I would. You guys go to Crossroads, right? It's the best. It's the best. I would go there every day if I could.
Somebody needs to send that to Crossroads and put it in the window as a
they
marketing
know. No, they know. They know. They know.
Okay, so this that I just read, this is the opening of the script of Meaty, of your televised pilot that you've been trying to move for 7 years, that you told us all about in the book. Will you give them the lowdown, and then we're gonna dig into it more? But yes. I am pissed, so I'm gonna let you take it.
So I did not want to make a show for TV But when people approach you, it feels like you can't say no to that kind of thing, right? I mean, the first thing I thought was like, I'm gonna be rich. So then it was like, okay, but like developing a TV show is like purgatory. You just write and write and write for free, and networks go, what if she did this? What if she was like that? But the she was me. And I was like, well, I can't, like the things that, okay, I'll change myself. And after 7 years and 2 networks, we did shoot a mini pilot.
You didn't even get a full pilot.
Didn't even get a full pilot. We shot a mini pilot in 2 days, and ultimately it was rejected. I know. But here's the thing, the silver lining is like, I don't have a show about myself on TV. Because people are so rude. Like, I can't be having my real self raked over the coals by like Twitter people. So ultimately, it was good.
I'm interested because the book just came out on Tuesday, a couple of weeks into the WGA strike, and I'm thinking about how you talk, just what you just said about you write for 7 years and you're paid nothing. And I'm wondering if you just even considered that this book would become an anthem for strikers. Like I'm seeing people on Instagram holding up the book and sections from the essay about that.
Well, that is very sweet. I mean, I'm on.
It's like, oh, help me out. What's the revolution, and it's Katniss Everdeen. Thank you.
I mean, I'm in the union because they force you to be in the union. So, like, solidarity. But I didn't have a job when the strike started, so I was like, well, I was already on strike. So good luck, everyone. Get us our money. I will say that I've gotten like residual checks for like $9, which is, it makes you want to jump off a building when you think about how much money like HBO made versus my $9.
Okay, I wanna track this back a little bit because there may be, this would be shocking, but folks in the room who are new to your work, which is surprising. You're already giving them the side eye.
No.
But so your first book, Meaty, and that you were making the TV show about, started with you, like younger you in Chicago, reading your work in bars around the city, which is where you and I met. And so I'm just interested in you thinking back to yourself then in Chicago and the writing you were doing versus the you now, because that's the trajectory we get for the books. Do you miss that you at all? I miss that. I miss you. Someone just called out Guts and Glory. Did you hear that?
Old
The name of Sam
show.
Who went to Guts and Glory? Do I have any?
Oh,
I see you in the back. I see you.
I can't believe it. I do miss it. I do miss being like up late at night, telling a story to drunk people. But thinking about the circumstances, like if I was back here, I do not want to be back here like in my Rogers Park studio, like with the ceiling falling in. Like that, it's hard to think about like that time without all of that time, like where I lived and being broke. So I would not go back to that, but maybe I'll come back and we can do a show in a bar. Would that be fun? We'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. Okay. Just for you.
Thank you. I will take that. I was thinking about that when I was reading the piece and the essay in the book about trying to make the television show and thinking about you trying to write about your past self. Because it's not something that you do in the essay collections moving forward. It feels like everything is moving forward and what feels urgent now. And so I want to talk a little bit about crafting that, especially because I just read an interview with you in Esquire where you said that you don't write writing that should be studied, and I would like to fight with you about that a little bit. I'd like to talk about the craft of the work.
But there is no craft, is the thing. There is, my education stopped here. In 1997, I've learned nothing since then. I don't know anything about writing. I've never taken a writing class. What craft?
I feel like I need my professor glasses now. I'd like to do the whole lecture series on your work, which I do. Like, if any of my students are in the audience, we just read your stuff last week. So it is being taught.
You are teaching my things to children?
I'm teaching your things to graduate students who are grown.
But they're kind of kids.
No,
at 21,
listen,
you're still a baby.
They are very happy to be reading work about peeing in public and vomiting in public and how you do maximum search engines for porn. I'd like to say hello to my son who's in the audience right now.
Yeah, my babies are here too. Sadie and Elena are here. They don't want to hear that.
Okay. All right. But
You're revealing all my secrets today.
You revealed all your secrets. That sounded really loud.
The thing is, nobody reads, right? Like, they have the book, they put a picture on Instagram.
Look at all
they don't know
these people.
what's inside.
Look at all these people here who are reading books. That's another thing I want to fight you on. She's
Y'all
been
are
in
not
every
gonna read
interview
this
saying
free
nobody
book.
reads books anymore. And look at all of us turning out for you in the books.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
No, I do, for real.
Okay. But it is a thing that you talk about in the work, the difference between trying to craft a television script where there's a very specific formula and beats you need to hit, and just sitting and making your own essays. And so I know that so many of the essays came from blog writing. So can you talk a little bit about that jump for you?
Well, TV is interesting because it's all collaborative. Like, everybody has a hand in crafting the story, in deciding what things happen, in deciding what things don't happen. Like, I don't know if you watched And Just Like That, but I tried to write a scene where Carrie has explosive diarrhea. And Sarah Jessica Parker was like, no. So thankfully, I was like, okay, girl, I'll pull that in. But she puked instead, which was even better. But there's always someone else to bounce your ideas off of, which I think when because so many more people watch TV than read books, I always want to make sure that what I'm doing is good. With the books, I don't really have that pressure. I just am like, whatever, and then I turn it in and then we put it out, which you'll see. So, but TV, it's not just me, right? Even if my name's on an episode, everyone helped, and I like that. But if I had to collaborate on my own work, I would not.
Well, I think I hear you saying this in interviews all the time. And so much of the commentary about your work is Sam will say anything and is not afraid to say anything. But I, being one of the people who's lucky enough to sit and talk to you on very comfortable couches that are usually in your house and not with 400 of our best friends. I'm thinking very specifically of a moment we had last summer, and you got a text message, and you and I sat and talked for an hour about the text message. And then I asked you if you were going to write about it, and you said, absolutely not. There's no way I'm going to work that out in public. And then I got the galley of the book, and there is a whole essay about it, except there is a lot that you left out, which I'm not going to tell you, But I'm thinking about the choices that you make on what to include and what not to include. I'm thinking about that essay in particular. I'm thinking about this, there's the essay in here about Sex and the City where you were getting death threats from...
But they were like funny ones. Like no one was outside my house, but it was like hysterical 50-year-old women like calling me a murderer because Mr. Big died and how they were gonna kill me. And I was like, you know what, Blanche, do it. I'm ready to go anytime. You want my address? Come on. I'm so tired. Take me out. Do what you gotta do.
But the choice in writing about that, you could have done that in the essay. You could have spoken back to these people. But instead, and I don't know if you all have gotten into the book yet, Sam went back through every single one of the original Sex and the City episodes, episode by episode. How many seasons were in the original?
6.
6. And talked about how she would have ruined it for Blanche.
Yeah. That was fun for me. That was fun.
So just thinking in terms of craft, like the choices that you make of what to include or what not to include. And I'm thinking about that as someone who writes personal narrative and uses their own life and their material. You don't tell everything.
No, like, I gotta protect some people, right? Like I have a family that I mostly protect. I see them over there, so I'm trying to be nice. I try to shield them from, not that anyone would talk to them, but I don't want anyone to like think anything horrible about my sisters. And like, I have a wife and she has kids. I try to protect them. Any innocent people, I try to pull back. The not innocent people, I really go ham. And then there are some things, like my philosophy is if I wouldn't want to see it on the news, I don't write about it. Because essentially when you put a thing out into the world, people talk to you about it all the time if you're lucky. And like, I don't want to be a person who's like, I know I wrote about it, but I can't talk about it. That's like, who wants to be that guy? So I do keep some things that I don't want to talk about to myself.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like it when you read the books, but I do.
Where in the trajectory of us sitting on your couch and you saying, no, I am not going to write about this, and me getting a galley with the essay in it, did you change your mind on that one?
I mean, I'm sure I was short on word count and was like, that's a thing I could write. Are you talking about the one about my brother?
Yeah.
But also, I had written about it before, and I mean, in case anyone was up late at night wondering, I thought like, oh, I should finish this, I should put a bow on this. So ultimately I wrote about it.
Well, it kind of is how all of the essay collections speak to one another, right? Because that subject matter about your family is something that, first lived in Meady. And for those of you who went to Guts and Glory back in the day, I first saw you do a piece about your mom on stage on a microphone, like way before you were publishing books. And then so to see how that story moved forward.
Sometimes I work things out on the page, like that's been very good for me. I have a psychiatrist now, so I don't have to do that as much. And I'm on a lot of Zoloft, so I don't even, what problems, right?
Isn't the book, you all have the book in your lap. Isn't it dedicated to Zoloft? It's dedicated to Zoloft.
Yeah.
If you check the dedication page.
My 300 milligrams a day, It's a lot, I know. I just got diagnosed with OCD, of all things. And like, to fix OCD, you have to be on a lot of Zoloft. And without it, I wouldn't have been able to write this book. Or it would have been a very different book. without the Zoloft.
Okay. Is that what leads into the peeing and the porn? Or are those just like you?
Oh, no, that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 43 and like I can't hold my pee anymore. It's just it. And I felt like a lot of people could relate. So I went into graphic detail.
I just looked around and just all the faces in the crowd were like, I'm not going to make a facial expression about whether or not.
I know who in here dribbles a little. Come on. And so I just was like, I mean, I like to be gross. I like to talk about the gross stuff. So I thought that would go in there. And the porn essay is in there because last book, my editor was like, there's no sex. And I was like, I'm an old lesbian, there's no sex. But, so I had to do that to satisfy her.
I think somebody asked you this, I think it was on NPR this week, about like, why do you write about sex with men, but you don't write about sex with women?
Oh, that's very easy. A woman has never given me the kind of problems a man has. Never. And women's lives are hard enough. I'm not gonna make fun of a woman in public, but I will make fun of a man anytime, any place. Sorry to the men, but yeah. No.
That's the pull, Lonnie, that's the pull quote for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, men. They're so stupid and they put you through so much. And it's never worth it. So, yeah. I mean, I know you have a son, and I'm sorry. Sorry, Caleb.
Hey, the kids are all right, though.
He will be a man one day, and then we'll reevaluate.
He's gonna surprise you.
Okay.
He's gonna surprise
I hope
you.
so.
Okay. But I'm thinking too, because and this is such a hallmark of your work, is how we sit here and we laugh our asses off, right? And I've heard so many different people like give me examples of places where they too peed in public, but while laughing about reading the work, and I'm in every like interview and review of the work, it talks about the humor. But just coming back to the brother essay and some of the other ones in this one in particular, those are deeply emotional work. And it makes me think of the meme, I don't know if you all remember this, that is said, she has the range. Did anybody check, do you remember this? Like, am I making this up? Like it had a picture of Whitney and it said she has the range. And then it had a picture of Ariana Grande and it said she has the range. And then it has a picture of Britney and it said, we love you, girl, but she doesn't have the range, right? But just thinking about how you do jump back and forth between the, like just listening to myself when I read your book, laughing 1 minute and then, like, it's deeply emotional to read too. So I think being able to feel as well as being able to laugh.
Yeah, I have always, I think like our family has always been like, okay, that's sad, but let's like make fun of it. And I'm always able to find like the kernel of absurdity in every sad thing. One of my favorite stories, and my sister's here, so we'll see if she appreciates it, is at our mom's funeral, oh, they're laughing already. At our mom's funeral, the pastor, like, didn't know my mom's name, so he kept calling her my sister's name. Oh no, it was so funny. Oh my God. And we're like sitting in the front row crying, laughing, because he kept being like, Sister Carmen was a good woman. And I'm like, Sister Carmen's right here. Grace is in the box. So, I mean, I think I'm always just trying to like, what is funny about this horrible thing? And I've been very lucky to find that quickly.
Yeah, I think, and this comes back to craft, right? But like, I think you do the flip end of that too. Like in the midst of a super intense essay, there's the humor, but also in the midst of the really hilarious stuff, there's some shit you want to tell us, right? Like I'm thinking of the 2 lesbian nuns having amazing sex essay, where amazing is
Everybody's
spelled,
like, what?
where are you going with this, Megan? Well, there's a section in there where the lesbian nuns, just stick with me. Hi, I haven't met your daughters yet, Anna, but hi, hello. This is our first, where they're, one of the lesbian nuns goes into a confessional, and you talk about how you don't really know how those work because you never had one in the black church.
Right, no.
But then you kind of go off on what it means to keep secrets and to hide certain things.
Yeah,
that's not a thing that I expected in the middle of a porn essay.
Well, it's real. I could never do confession because, like, I couldn't be like telling. No, that's curated confession. Like you're supposed to tell the priest everything you do, right?
Are you? I'm not Catholic.
Somebody knows.
Where are my Catholics? Are you supposed to say everything?
I feel like you're supposed to say everything. I could not do that.
Okay.
Not to a real person. Okay, so the thing about the books is like, when I write them, it's just me, right? It's just me making myself laugh, and I assume no one is ever gonna read it, right? Like in my head, I'm like, nobody's reading this.
Is that true?
Yes.
Is that true? 'Cause
that's the only way you can get through it.
You started writing for the blog. This is back to Samantha Irby origin story, but like writing a blog
I
for a
assumed
dude.
no one read that.
What about the dude? Did you assume he was going to read it?
I mean, 50-50. I didn't know.
Okay.
So
I cut you off. Keep going.
So if I sort of have tunnel vision and think, this is just between me and my editor, then I can say whatever. And then once I turn it in, all bets are off, right? Like as soon as I think I'm done, I send it so I don't chicken out. And then because I'm not like sitting next to you while you're reading, imagine if I was sitting next to you while you're reading, but like being like, what do you think? What are you laughing at? Why are you vomiting? I think because I don't ever like see anyone read my stuff, I don't like see how they react to it. So it's easy. I've like separated myself from it. And like people in my real life like either don't read my stuff, which I appreciate, or they're never like, let's discuss page 72, right? So like because I'm not engaging with people who read it, it feels like no one's read it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which again is different, I think, than when you started, because at the beginning so much of what you were doing, you were working out on a microphone in front of a bunch of drunk people.
Yes.
How does that, like, does that change the writing process when you're sitting and thinking, I am writing this for a bunch of drunk people versus I am writing this to be on Sex and the City?
I think, like, I always, like, try to make sure there are punchlines if I'm, like, performing the work. That is maybe the only difference, like, where to pause, where to get a laugh, like that kind of thing. But with this, like with my other writing, I don't have to do, I assume people are laughing, but again, if people don't exist who read my stuff, I don't have to think about whether or not they like it.
But you know, you can see us, right?
Yeah, but you know, it's different. It's different. Like nobody's reading the book right now, so I'm like thrilled. Like you could take it home, you could post it on Instagram, I love that. But like if you wanted to read a page to me, I would beat you to death. So like that's the thing. I'm like, oh, you have this little cute thing to have in your bag, but I don't think about people like actually reading it. Otherwise, I would never write another book again. Don't worry, I'm on the hook for 2 more, so.
Yeah. I saw your agent posted on Twitter, new Samantha Irby book's coming in 2072, I don't know.
2025 and 2028.
How's it going?
I'm not gonna live that long. Come on, y'all. Come on. Hopeful, fingers crossed. Yeah, so there will at least be a couple more moronic piss books coming your way.
Okay. Also, vomit. You spend
Yes.
some time with vomit in this book in a way that I think deserves discussion.
It's been a new thing. I've been puking. I have Crohn's disease, which is like, oh my God, just the worst. And it used to be like mostly diarrhea, but now the guts are like, let's spice it up. And I've been puking all the time, which I would rather have diarrhea every day for the rest of my life than vomit again. It's so violent.
People
I'm like
that.
bursting.
You have fans with that.
Good.
Okay.
I'm like bursting blood vessels in my eyes. It's like insane.
Okay, well, one.
Somebody cure Crohn's disease, please. Is anyone in here a doctor? They're like, that's sweet of you. Doctors don't read your work.
I would like to tell you that my doctor sent me a message today through my chart apologizing that she could not be here tonight for this event because she saw our poster with our faces and she loves your work.
I wish she would have come because I don't feel that great today. I would definitely ask her to come in back and work something out.
Okay, when I brought up the vomit, I actually meant how you approach it in the text.
What did I write about vomiting in here?
About how in one of the reasons why you wanted to make Meaty was you wanted to get some realistic stories about Black folks, about bigger bodies, like queer folk, into the primetime television space. But
mostly I wanted to get
you wanted
vomit
to get true
and
vomiting.
diarrhea.
There's long script sections about vomiting in it.
One of the things that kills me about TV is when like somebody vomits and it's like a little spit up. They're like, oops. And I'm like, who pukes like that? If I have to throw up, I have to like take my shirt off and like lean over the toilet and cry. Like, I wanted that. Also, there's a diarrhea scene, and I got to hear like the sound they used for the poop. It was the best day of my life. It sounded so terrible. Also, I learned how they make fake poop on a TV set.
Is there like a recipe? Yeah.
Melted protein bars. Yeah, think about that next time you eat your Luna bar. Yeah, the props woman had a hair dryer and was like heating up this bar because there's a scene with dog poop. And I was like, this is incredible. That's why I want to make TV, so I could see like all the gross, horrible stuff.
Am I correct in that you explained all of that to us in the book, like in the context of the pilot script? Because you couldn't just straight up drop the pilot script in here because...
I wanted to, because like people are like, where's your show? What's up with your show? I'd love to watch your show. And I'm like,
you and I have talked about it
never
on
gonna
stages for like 5 years, every time we do it.
You're never gonna watch, you're never gonna see the show. I'm so sorry. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put the script in so people can see what I wanted to do and how Hollywood cruelly rejected it. And then I called my LA agent, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna put my pilot in the book. And he was like, bitch, Viacom will sue you. Because Viacom owns it like for the next 10 years. And
They're not gonna make it, they're just sitting on it.
Yeah. So I was like, I cannot be sued by a major corporation. So then I did the next best thing, which was kind of explain everything that happens in the show to you.
Okay.
It's so long. It took me forever. My editor was like, this is too much. She cut 2,000 words, and it's still so long. But I wanted
Usually
to
you're trying to, usually you add.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to give you like the real, like what I was trying to do.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah. I wish I could have just given you the script, but check in 10 years when they give it back to me.
You can do a thing, I think it's in the Princess Bride, right? Like in that, like there's a little section that says, if you want the secret chapter, you can, but then people would email you, and then you don't want them in your inbox, I'm guessing.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Unless they're actually gonna kill me, then I'll reply.
Okay, that's an excellent segue back into Sex and the City.
Yes.
Okay. So a thing that I'm interested in is in all the time you spent writing about your younger self in the meaty pilot, and all the time in the books that you're writing about your now self. Like, what is it like to take parts of yourself and give them to other characters, whether it's Annie and Shrill, or Miranda, or Carrie? Because I mean, we've seen the episodes that you wrote, and like your DNA is all over.
Yeah.
Those.
I mean, I feel very lucky that I thought, like, when I got hired, I was like, oh, they just want me to like throw in a couple of jokes. They're not gonna let me like really like get my hands on these like iconic characters. But they foolishly were like, yeah, no, you can fully participate. And so like there's a scene in an early episode where Miranda fights a little person in a Chucky costume. Like, that was me. I still cannot believe they let me do it. Oh my God. It does feel good to like see things from my life coming from people who don't look like me, who like other people love and revere and get mad that I messed with their favorite character. I love it. It's great.
There's an episode of Shrill that you wrote. It's called Fat Babe.
I'm in it. If you squint, you can see me. I'm in it for 2 seconds, but if you'll see me.
Okay. That is amazing, but I want to talk about how you wrote it also.
Yes.
And this is me, I mean, again, this is me thinking about like all those writers that are in the streets right now trying to fight for what we're doing. And I'm thinking about how you, I don't know if you all have seen the episode, but there is it's called the Fat Babe Pool Party.
Yeah, the episode's called Pool, but it's about, yeah.
And so and I've heard you talk about that episode and what it meant to just put a lot of bigger bodies in bathing suits, having an amazing time.
They don't let fat people on TV unless it's like, like they're driving them to the bariatric surgery clinic. Y'all know that show. They don't want to see fat people like being happy and having fun. They're like, hey, you have to look at this fat person, but only because we're gonna carve her stomach into the size of a Dixie cup. So when Lindy and I like sort of came up with that plot for her, I was like, they're not gonna do this right. Like, they're gonna be like Hollywood fat, right? Like size 8, size 10, And I flew out to Portland to produce the episode. And I was like so nervous the day we went to set. I was like, they're gonna mess this up. They're gonna mess this up. And then the pool looked amazing, and I was like, okay, all right, this is promising. And then we went into this ballroom. It was at a country club. We went into this ballroom like to meet all of the extras, and there were dozens of like actually fat women. They were like custom making bikinis for them, like just like treating them all like queens. It was really amazing. No one will ever let me do that again. And it felt, I mean, not to toot my own butt, but it felt like revolutionary to be able to do that. Yeah. Thank you. It's a good episode. Yeah. And Julia Sweeney is in it, and getting to hang out with her.
And she's from here.
Yeah, getting to hang out with her was very cool.
So what was the experience like then when you were making the Sex and the City reboot during a pandemic?
Well, I mean, it was incredible for me because I didn't have to leave the house. Like both seasons, I hate New York, I hate it. And I didn't have to go to New York, so it was incredible. I just had to sit in my little room and talk to people on a screen, and they don't pay me to be part of production. So like as soon as the writing's over, my job is over, and that is great. So it was really, the pandemic was, this sounds so messed up, but it wasn't good to me, but it was good to me. You know what I mean? Like, I had a book come out. I did a virtual tour, which like was great.
We did this.
Yeah.
April 1, 2020.
Yeah.
On Zoom, right at the beginning of it.
And it was perfect. But then the pandemic like kind of broke my brain a little, and like made me kind of feral. And I got like really afraid of people and like afraid of being in the car and all this other stuff. And that's when I got the psychiatrist to fix all of that.
Yes.
Shout out Dr. Fan. Oh my God.
And that lives in the book as well.
Yeah.
But through the lens of QVC?
Yes, I'm obsessed with QVC. Obsessed. Because, so, I mean, one of the things about like being in the house all the time is it doesn't like feel like anything's alive or happening in the world. And I'm not gonna watch the news like to see live people talking, because the news is depressing and I don't wanna know anything. And then there's only so much sports you can watch, but QVC is live people talking, moving around, selling you beautiful things. They all look very beautiful. They're very like put together, and they seem nice, and they have like frosted hair. I got deeply into it during the pandemic.
And internet shopping.
That's a problem for me. That is one of my.
Where's Kirsten?
That is one of my compulsions, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better, kind of. Kind of.
Okay.
It's a process. The Zoloft test, maybe we have to go up another dose.
Okay. All right. The last thing I want to bring up here, and then we're gonna open it up for questions, because I know so many of you here love Sam and want to like get into her brain if you can.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh, I know. See, I know you think that, and you're so wrong.
I mean, I know people want to, but once you're in there, it's a nightmare.
Okay. You gave us a really important tool in this book, and I want to talk about it, and I want to extend my gratitude for it. You think I'm talking about the box of vibrators you sent me, but I'm really talking about something else.
Yeah, listen, if you get a divorce, email me and I will send you a box of vibrators. I promise. Claire, do it. I will.
Lilos, like the good ones.
Yeah, they were expensive.
They are worth it.
That's how you know I care. I'm not like coming to your kid's birthday party, but I will hook up your vag.
Actually, that's the pull line. Okay. Okay, the tool is, it is a sentence followed by an exclamation mark. And it is, I like it.
Yes.
Right? And so, you explain it. You're better explaining it than I am.
Okay, I have pretty lowbrow tastes. I'm never gonna be like, watch this documentary, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm never gonna read a book that's hard.
Time out, no. I've been to your house. There are every book, like you have stacks and, you are one of the most well-read people that I know. And you know what?
Did you look at the quality of those books?
You and I have had the same argument publicly now for like a decade. You drag your reading choices, and what I love about you is you read everything, like equally, and you let all of it feed you.
Yeah, but none of those books are like difficult or challenging. I can't, life is so hard. I can't be like looking things up in, you know what I mean? Like, I need things just to wash over me, right? Like, I can't watch anything. I'm never gonna be like, hey, did you watch the new episode of Chernobyl? Like, no.
You are in my text messages every weekend about Succession. That's
not a hard show.
Do you have anything that you need to get out of your heart about? It's about to end. Are you okay?
I'm so sad that Roman and Jerry didn't bang.
Do we know for certain? Do we think that storyline is done?
There's only 2 episodes left, and they had a falling out. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Have you not ever had sex after a falling out?
No, girl, I don't hustle backwards. No.
That was just like set spike, wasn't it?
No.
Okay. We're in the middle of like 7 questions right now. Take it back.
Okay.
You were being lowbrow.
Okay. So I used to be like kind of self-conscious about my tastes, only because there are people who, if you're like, oh yeah, I was watching Survivor or whatever, they'll be like, Survivor? And then I reflexively like apologize. Sorry, I'm so dumb. I only watch reality TV. I'm so sorry for bothering you with my horrible taste in network television. So now, instead of doing that, this lady who is our neighbor, I'm trying to protect her identity in case somehow she hears about this. But she was criticizing a strip mall I told her to go to. And it was like she wanted me to apologize that the strip mall was offensive to her. And I'm like, I didn't build that fucking strip mall. I don't profit from it. I helped you, and now you want to shame me because I helped you. So she was like waiting for me to like defend the mall with the yogurt shop and like the big and tall store.
And this is like on your porch.
Yes, she was
like
standing at my house.
You can't leave. Like you're at your, okay.
I really wanted to kick her down the stairs, but instead of like getting mad or being like, oh, I'm sorry I made you look at those horrible brown bricks, I was like, you know what, I like it. And she couldn't say shit. You can't say anything back. What is she gonna say? And then she said something else snotty, and I was like, yeah, girl, sorry, I like that place. Don't go there if you don't like it. And it works. Next time someone's criticizing anything about you, your clothes, whatever, just be like, I like it. And what are they gonna say? You don't like it? I am trying. I have a lot of shame, right? Like I'm a shame-fueled person, and it doesn't feel good, but I am. And like anything to just take a little of the shame away, like that makes me feel better. So don't be ashamed.
I love you very much.
love
These
you.
people want to ask you things.
Okay.
Connie.
Oh.